Hi everyone, we're going to sketch the graph of this polynomial, and let's first fill out some information. The degree of this polynomial is 3. That just means you're taking your x's. If you don't want to put this in standard form, you just add them up. 1 plus 2 is 3. That means our maximum turning points is going to be our n minus 1. So we can have at most 2 turning points. And our y-intercept is when x is 0. So when x is 0, we get 0 times negative 2 squared. That just equals 0. And our x-intercept is when y is 0. So when y is 0, this can be 0. And this part here would be 2. So we have 0, 0, and 0, 2. And the end behavior we're going to talk about next. Our end behavior is based off the degree, which is 3, and it is positive. The intervals where y is negative and y is positive we'll talk about after we graph it. So let's talk about end behavior. Our degree is 3, which is an odd number, and it's positive, our leading coefficient. So basically, this is what our end behavior is. And if you graph it like they kind of did right in here, it's this right in here. You go 2 to 8. So it's this form right here. Now all this means is that our end behavior is going to resemble this. So we're going to be starting in quadrant 3, which is x is negative, y is negative, and ending in quadrant 1. So this is basically what this means. As x gets larger and larger to infinity, so does my y. My y values are also going up. However, when my x values are going to negative infinity, or getting smaller and smaller, so do my y. So it's just like negative, negative, positive, positive here. All right. So now let's look at the equation. Our y-intercept was 0, 0. And we also had an x-intercept at 2. We're supposed to start here. Now when we go, we're starting in quadrant 3. We go to 0. We can cross it. So we're going to cross. Now we're not going to worry about min and max, stuff like that. We're just sketching a graph. So we're going to turn back around and go to 2. Now 2, that factor has a degree exponent of 2, which is an even number. So that means you can't cross. You only touch. So we're going to do a U-turn and go back. And that resembles the end behavior we want. Let's see how many times it turned. It turned here, so that's 1. Also turned here. So we had a maximum of 2 turns here, which is turning points, which is what we predicted. The only thing else we have to do is see where our y is negative. Now our y is negative, that means below this line here, at y equals 0. So here's the portion where it's negative. And that's from negative infinity to 0. Now, where is our y positive, or f of x positive? Our y is positive on the top portion here, all the way up to infinity there. So that's between 0 and infinity. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.